just driving through southern Ontario, Canada, on my way from London, Ontario to Detroit, Michigan, catching a flight back to Atlanta so I can get home and go back to work. But I wanted you guys to see what southern Ontario looked like. And one thing I've noticed is if you are from South Alabama, where I'm originally from, you'll notice that this looks exactly like that. There's really no big difference whatsoever. There's a lot of farming, a lot of agriculture, a lot of fields. But hey, Canadian flag right there instead of an American flag. That's a big difference. But you see, it looks just like South Alabama. And this is a really, really, really pretty area. I have thoroughly enjoyed my time up here. So I'm being careful I'm not watching the screen or anything. I am watching the road. A lot of people that do a lot of working up here. Woodworking. This has been an incredible trip. This has been so much fun. I absolutely love this place. I dare say I wouldn't mind living up here because it is so much like home. Everybody's friendly. I've had just a wonderful time. Yeah, as you can see, it's not snow. It's actually been very comparable weather. Last night was just a little bit chilly, but not too bad. I'd say in Fahrenheit it was probably in the 60s with a little bit of a breeze, so it was nice and cool. Last night we actually sat around a fire outside, which was nice. Beautiful wedding, beautiful reception. Okay, there are the windmills. Oh, well, you can see them yet. I've got a car coming up behind me pretty fast. I'm doing the speed limit because I don't want to get a ticket in a foreign country. Okay, we're back on the 402, heading towards Michigan, towards the Canadian border. And like I said, a lot of this area looks like South Alabama. Really, really nice farmland, lots of agriculture, and of course these massive windmill farms. From what they were telling me, of course there's a lot of controversy surrounding windmill farms, but this is my first time ever seeing them in person, and I know that we've got them back home in the States, but I've never seen them. These things are huge. I've got probably a little bit less than an hour before I'm in Michigan. But I just wanted to show you the windmills. But it was a beautiful ceremony. I had a wonderful time with Jimmy and Denise and Denise's family and friends. My goodness, could not be sweeter people. And we're definitely coming back. I'm definitely going to come back and visit them. I've made a lot of new friends up here, and I appreciate that. They're very, very good people. Everything you hear about Canadians and their polite nature and their friendliness. I mean, I've known several Canadians for years, but I've never actually been up here until this weekend. And this is a sweet, sweet place. Sweet people. Definitely grateful for the time that I've had and the friends that I've made, the new friends. There's a lot of windmills over there. I don't know what Canada's laws are on using a cell phone while you're driving. But here they are. There's the big windmills. Coming into Canada Thursday night, pretty funny. Jimmy was telling me, okay, they're going to ask you a lot of questions. They're going to, where are you going? Who are you? How long are you going to be here? What are you here for? do you have any tobacco or firearms or alcohol or anything in your car? So we get to the guard station at the border crossing. We pull up, and I'm wearing my Alabama Ghostbusters t-shirt. And so the guard's, he's like, okay, so you're David. I hand him my passport and my ID. He's like, you're David. And I said, yes, because my first name is David. And he said, okay, where are you going? How long are you going to be here? Do you have any tobacco or alcohol or firearms that you're bringing in? No, everything's fine. He looks down at the Alabama Ghostbusters logo on my shirt and says, okay, explain to me this Ghostbusters shirt. I want to know more about it. All right, that's kind of weird. Well, I told him all about the Alabama Ghostbusters, how we're a fan group. We like to dress up as Ghostbusters and do things for charity, and do things for communities and things of that nature. He said, okay. And he got on his radio and started talking to somebody at the guard station just down to the right. And he gets off his radio and goes, okay, what I need you to do now is pull off to the right. There's going to be a guy down there waiting on you. I'm like, okay. And Jimmy looked at me, he goes, they're probably going to do a background check on you. So that's fine. I mean, I'm coming into their country. That's to be expected. So he was real nice, and he said, okay, go ahead and pull up there to the right. So we pulled up there and parked, and there was a gentleman standing on the side waiting on me. So we get there, we stop, I look at Jimmy, and he's like, I don't know what's going on now. Roll down my window. He pokes his head in the window, looks at me, he goes, how did you know I work here? And I was kind of taken aback. I'm like, I don't know you. And he said, you're Brock. They only knew me by David from my driver's license up at the other station. He goes, you're Brock, right? And I said, yeah. I'm like, and you are? He said, I'm Matt. And he said, I'm with the Nomad Ghostbusters. He said, we've got mutual friends on Facebook and in the Ghostbusters community. He told me his username on GB Fans. And I'm like, what are the odds at 2:30 in the morning, crossing into Canada, that I would have an encounter with a gentleman, a border agent, that that we have mutual friends, and he knew who I was. So by the time Jimmy and I got to Denise's house on early Friday morning, he had sent me a friend request on Facebook, so now we're friends. So I'm tagging him in this. But that was probably the most random chance encounter I've ever had. And Jimmy was like, that's the easiest border crossing we've ever done coming in here. And just so happens that Matt and I are now friends. So pretty random, pretty awesome. And definitely thankful for the opportunity to meet him in person and have him be the one to welcome me into Canada. So I don't know if he's working today. He probably won't be. I'll probably be dealing with U.S. agents heading into Michigan. So, but Matt, thanks so much, man. It was a great pleasure meeting you, and it was a very, very awesome chance encounter that we had as driving into Canada in the middle of the night to meet you. So I'm going to get back on the road, get driving, get home, see my kids. But that's a little bitty Canadian vlog for you as I'm heading back to the U.S. It's been a fun trip and a big blessing. So you guys take care, and I'll see you back in Alabama.